Cool. My dudes and my dudettes, we're back. Zach, dude, we got the Strawberry Girls here today, man. Like,
what's up?
I think this is going to be our second group of instrumentalists from That's How You Have Your Genre Set, because we had Dave from Covet on back in, a couple months ago. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to hang out and talk about what's going on during these times.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us.
Dude, what's going on with the writing process? I mean, first of all, Tasmanian Glow was a pretty fucking slap, to the wall album. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't really see many features on that album. Have you? Because from American Graffiti, I mean, and other albums that you have, which is The Fort, you guys don't really do as many features on that album. Was that just a decision that you guys made, or what was that about?
I think usually for features, it's just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. It's never really like planned out. We'll just kind of like send stuff to friends and stuff like that. So that's just kind of how it ended up. It wasn't really like a conscious decision, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just how stuff fell into place. I think we definitely wanted a bunch of features on the album, but then stuff didn't really pan out, and we kind of became rushed a little bit. So then we're just like, let's just do it like mainly instrumental. So yeah, that's just how it happened.
Yeah, for sure. And even when you have people featuring on the albums, like Kurt Travis or Lancaster, like, they're all your boys. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
yeah,
that's like a cool clique of musicians that you're always able to work with to bring on to any album or song that you honestly feel like would fit right. Is that how those decisions are made? It's just how they might fit and implement their vocals onto that song?
I think, yeah, kind of. We'll, like, if we have a song where we think it could use vocals, maybe it's a little more open, or yeah, we'll just kind of like send it to a friend and see what they can do. Sometimes we'll send them a few songs, and then they can pick whichever one they like. That's like kind of what we did with Andreas. I'd send him a few songs, a few demos, and he picked Party Nights and did some stuff over that.
That's pretty cool. You don't even, so the way your writing process works, you really don't go into a song thinking like this needs vocals or it could be strictly instrumental. You kind of just like let it be open-ended and let whoever's going to put vocals on it, you let them decide. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's like some songs, like with Party Nights, I think I kind of knew that it would be cooler with vocals because it was a little more open. And there have been songs in the past where it's like, yeah, this is like not super busy like some of our other songs, so we should probably try and get a vocalist on it. But I don't think we ever necessarily go into it like trying to write something that we want a vocalist on. It's just kind of like trying to write something that would be interesting without vocals, but could be cooler with vocals.
With that being said, has this been like a because we just found out talking a little bit before we started recording, you guys are in two different states. You're in Oregon and California. Like, has this been like this downtime, has this been a godsend really in terms of writing, or has it kind of been an impediment on terms of what you guys were planning to do during this kind of hiatus time of everybody kind of being stuck inside? Has it been valuable for you guys or no?
I'd say it's like bittersweet. Yeah. We were supposed to tour at the beginning of the year, and it was going to be our headlining tour with Andreas, Dwellings, and the Marionette. So we were super stoked for that tour. Yeah. And then we had to postpone it to September, and then recently we decided to push it to next spring. It's like, yeah, it's cool having more time to just like record music, but at the same time, it's like, I know we all really want to play shows again and be out on the road. But that's like our main source of income. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, we're talking about it right now over social media. We were the first industry to close, and we'll be the last to open. Yeah. And even a lot of the people who work in the industry behind closed doors, the videographers, the stage crew, sound engineers. I mean, we're all being affected, but now we're starting to make aware that we're all into this together. So why don't we just take into consideration and try to be as safe so we can get back to the industry? And I actually just read an article today that New Jersey is going to try to implement a 25% cap space for venues. And for shows, so we'll see how that works. Zach's done the drive-through. Have you guys considered doing drive-through shows? I mean, they have been doing pretty well. I mean, it's just basically like it depends on location and who's putting it together. But have you guys took that into consideration at all?
I feel like we're not big enough for something like that.
No such thing, man.
It would also just be weird playing to cars.
Dude,
that's like the biggest complaint I've heard across the board is like a lot of people will talk shit on it immediately, be like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna come out and, like, honk their horn and flash their high beams at me, like it feels like you're being abducted by aliens, like, you know what I mean? But so I went to a show in Philly last night. It was for the two guys from Shinedown. They do like an acoustic project where they do a lot of covers, and that's pretty cool. But it's like the only form of live entertainment there's been. So me and my wife, we took the chance to go see it, and like, yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely not going to be a sustainable thing. The biggest takeaway from it is obviously it's not loud enough, and depending where you're at to shove that many cars in such an isolated space, like, you're just not going to get good audio quality. And there was another place I went to about 2 weeks ago to see stand up, and I was legit a quarter mile from the stage, and it echoed all the way out to my car, so you couldn't even, like, follow the storyline. So probably not the best idea, but if you're clamoring to get out there, I bet you there's people that'll definitely hook you guys up.
Yeah, there's some difficulties to it, but I think you guys would probably kill it. Like, dude, it's just strange though. I 100% agree with that.
It is.
I mean, it can't last forever. You know, all these, like, everyone in the entertainment industry, like, has to get back to work eventually. So hopefully sometime next year, like, you can start playing shows again. And,
yeah, and trying to find new ways. I mean, I've said this a couple times before on past podcasts, but it's like, depending on the tier of your band too, there's certain things you can and cannot do. But how often can you do it? So, for example, just a correlation with everybody in here, like DGD, they did a live stream, and how many times can they do that a month? Like, they're not going to do it twice a month. I mean, like, it's a very strange way of going about things, but this is all we have right now and everything. Zach, do you still tour with them from time to time with DGD?
No, not tour. I still collaborate with them.
Yeah, but, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I played a couple shows with them in like 2014, maybe. I don't know, 14 or 15.
Time ago then.
But that was cool. It was just kind of a random.
Sergio blew my mind. He said that he kind of filled into for Afterburner, and I was like, wait, what? Like, this is like a pretty big group of, like, friends that get together and just, like, you know, put a guitar in each other's hands and just pass it around the studio. Like, you guys got that cool click and everything.
Didn't you play a song with them on the 10-year tour?
I did play. I played a couple songs with them. We did the 10-year anniversary tour with Strawberry Girls and A Lot Like Birds, and Dance Gavin Dance, and that was fun. Getting to play some old stuff every night. That was back in 2015.
Yeah, it's such a small world too. I mean, because, like, even Ben with, like, Eternity Forever, like, it's cool that you had Kurt Travis as a vocalist on and everything. And the fact is, like, it seems like there's this cool group of people, like, in this, like, swan group, this swan core, whatever you want to call it. And everybody kind of knows everybody, and they just, you know, write, you know, really good creative music. Like, how does everybody know everybody? Like, I'm sure it must have been just from playing local shows coming up from California and everything, right? Like,
I mean, originally just from the internet, and then after that, just, like, touring with each other, basically. Yeah,
and just collaborating on everything. Yeah, it's just so cool, dude. It's like it's hard to actually come across something like that where everybody's cool with everybody. Like, you know, for example, like Strawberry Girls, Hail the Sun, DGD, and then you got Eternity Forever, Royal Coda. And then you got even, like, the instrumentation bands like Polyphia and Shine stuff, which you guys have toured with too. Do you guys prefer tours over, like, whether it's headlining or whether you're a supporting act, over festivals? Because I know you guys were on Swan Fest. Is there, like, any kind of way you would go about making a decision depending on what your opportunity is?
I think we just kind of take what we get. That was the only real big festival thing we've done, so mostly we just do like tours, and we'll, like, headline. We've
been a part of a few festivals, like, that we played, like, while on tour. Like, it just happened to be, like, a festival date, like the one in the one in
Houston?
Boise.
Tree Fort
Fest.
Sort of like Boise South by Southwest.
Yeah, so then there was the Houston one, South by South by, or whatever it's called.
South by So What? Yeah.
South by So What. And then there is another South by Southwest too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we played the Santa Cruz Music Festival one time. It'd be sick to play like Coachella or something.
Yeah, right.
Well, that'd be well deserved. I mean, that makes a lot of sense too for having Strawberry Girls play Coachella. That's like a good vibe to actually be in for sure.
I think that's a
Sean
great
played it.
fitting.
Yeah.
That must be a hell of an experience.
Yeah, it's gotta be crazy.
Yeah, I think kind of to like switch gears a little bit. So the way I found you guys was on it through the Audiotree session.
Nice.
There's a lot of people that have been on there. What was that experience like? Was that were you like a big followers of the Audiotree sessions, or did you kind of just like fall into it and then discover it afterwards?
I think we definitely were aware of Audiotree and had like watched it over the years. Just various bands that we liked. So it was definitely an honor when they.
I was gonna say, what was like the experience like when you first got invited to come on? Was that pretty awesome?
Yeah, we were stoked. I didn't really expect it to happen, so it was kind of like, oh shit.
Oh,
I think
really?
we all knew about Audiotree, and then I think we just randomly got an email one day, and they asked us to
wow, that's awesome.
because we were gonna be on tour and playing in Chicago, and so they asked us if we could just stop by before the show and do a session. So yeah, it was like super cool that they just asked us to do it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And you went right into it with Spanish,
but like it ended up being cool because like you are playing live, so if you mess up, you're
a little bit of pressure,
yeah, especially like kind of felt like we'd be playing to no one, but we were basically putting on a show for the videographers, so
that's pretty cool.
And there was like a bunch of people in the control room too, like they were all stoked on us after each song and stuff, so yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it made me less nervous.
I feel like the only thing that you'd be worried about is just making sure that the audio quality sounds really good, like going over the airwaves, just because it's so uncontrollable for you guys. Like you have no idea what it's going to sound like, but no, it sounds great. That I definitely discovered you guys that way. I think it's cool. It's sweet, man.
There are some guests that came on too that like they had a great time doing it, but seeing the Audiotree session, it was cool to see the host kind of like really vibe with you guys while playing and stuff too. And the questions like they were just sincere and everybody was having a good time. But the best was like when you guys opened up with Spanish Bay and it's just like hit right at the fucking beginning. I'm like, okay, this is fucking banging. Like, because you guys do hit hard a little bit with some of your writings, like Headbangers.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. Do you guys
take the vibes with the MIDI pad too? That's pretty sick.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, dude. There's a lot of songs that you kind of really you choose the way you go about writing your songs, where it says like if it wants to be a headbanger, or you kind of take it back for a hot second and slow it down and make it like a more of a good flow. I'm sure you've been asked this questions all the time, but where do you usually get your inspiration from when trying to really mold your songs together? Depending on how it started out in the beginning.
I think just like everything we listen to, we all listen to like lots of different kinds of music, so we just sort of like throw all that into a blender and see what comes out. And sometimes you want to do something that's like poppy, sometimes you want to do something heavy, something weird, experimental, so we just like kind of getting out all our different creative stuff.
What are your biggest influences?
I don't know, because I'm always listening to like a bunch of stuff, but I guess just like kind of grew up listening to like At the Drive-In, Mars Volta, Refused, a bunch of post-hardcore like Thrice, Circus Survive.
Circus Survive, God bless them.
Just like all that stuff when we were in like high school and junior high. Yep. But that mixed in with all the random new stuff that I listened to. But that's kind of, I guess, what I like came up on and would learn on guitar.
How about you, Ben? What's your influences?
Let's see. Like I got super into like the Fall of Troy in high school. I was also into like hardcore, like heavy music at that time too. Norma Jean, Under Oath. Terra Mellos was a like huge discovery for me because I was just like purely instrumental, and it was like I don't know, I was just fascinated with them for a long time. So yeah, they definitely influenced my style. I'd say like Fall of Troy, Terra Mellos, and a band called Facing New York definitely influenced me a lot.
And you guys got to play with Fall of Troy too on like a one-off show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
did. That was like a dream come true, honestly. Last December, we did like a short West Coast run with them, and it was awesome.
Yeah, they were super nice, really cool people. So it was nice that like we got to do that, and then they were also cool on top of it. Rather than, I don't know, sometimes you tour with bands and you could spend weeks with them and like not really know them, but like the first couple days, I think we did 4 dates with them, and like they were just like super homies, really cool, super nice. So it was really nice that they were cool.
We're
people.
hoping to do like more stuff with them in the future.
Oh wow, that's really exciting.
Maybe some features, maybe.
Actually, yeah, like Thomas,
let's go.
Thomas from Palm Troy actually texted me like a week or two ago, saying that he really wanted to like sing on one of our new songs. So hopefully that will happen on the new record.
God, let's make that a tour real quick. Let's do Protest the Hero, Fall of Troy, Strawberry Girls, and then whoever else has banging ass music. I mean, Covington actually would fit well for that tour too, or Anthony Green. I feel like Zach and I talked about this too. I mean, I think it would be a good idea for musicians and bands in general to kind of come out with these huge tour packages once we're allowed to go back into the touring world. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, because I personally think it should just be like you include the top tiers, and then you include like good, middle, and maybe an entry level tier, depending on like, not if they're in the local scene, but I mean like you guys are mid tier too, so it's like you would fit well in the bill in a sense. But do you think that would help? I feel like it would be.
I don't know. I feel like that's already kind of what it's like. You take like a smaller band as the opener to kind of like bring them out on the road and get them a little bit of recognition, and then you just kind of stack it after that, progressively getting bigger.
Yeah, true.
I think the biggest tour package, I saw Animals as Leaders, and I think there was like 5 bands on our tour package one time. That was like a long, probably 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer. But yeah, I mean, I think 3 to 4 bands on a tour is good.
Yeah, I'm thinking like especially if you can get certain bands like I don't know, like someone that has a huge fan base, like the surrounding them in general, like Cody and Canberra. Like if Cody and Canberra got like a bunch of bands that were on the same level as them, or also lower tier, like I think it would be able to open up kind of more of a cap space for certain venues. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just there's got to be some solution to when we can go back and resume this industry, because I don't know, man. Like you guys got to get back on the road. You guys have probably been itching for a minute too.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're going to do Swan Fest again? Have you talked about doing any festivals related to those dudes or anything?
I feel like no one really knows what's going on at this point. So
yeah.
Didn't they reschedule Swan Fest for next year?
Yeah, but who knows if you're going to be able to do festivals.
That's still good that they're at least making the effort to like secure a date for next year and like give people hope, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, we don't know when it's going to come back. The world's falling apart.
I mean, that's the truth of it though. So
yeah, Philly, like for us, because that's a city we congregate to. I mean, I think like maybe a month ago, George, they like immediately were like, yeah, February, any advertised gathering of over 500 people like is not going to happen until February.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like alarming at that time, but at the same time, it's also like, all right, now I can expect to not have that for all this time instead of just like be up in the air about it. So I kind of appreciate it at the same time, but it's just crazy. I can't believe we're still doing that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's been like six or 7 months.
What were you guys doing right before this happened? What was
getting ready to tour?
Yeah.
Okay. So like right up to that point was when the tour was supposed to about to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day.
Like about to leave for tour like in 2 days or something.
Oh wow, it was
like,
that close.
We were like trying to figure out. We're like, wait, like, are we going or is this gonna be like
that
shut down?
Sucks.
And then I think it was like a day before we finally made the decision. We're like, yeah, like we gotta postpone it or something. It was kind of.
I didn't realize it was that close. That's that's a different ballgame, man.
Yeah.
You guys are also putting out really good content now as well. You've been doing on and off songs between you two. With recently that was recently filmed. Could we expect some more of these like bangers to come out between the two of you? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was just like a Strawberry Girls demo that we just chose to turn into like a collab between us because we just wanted to like release something. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Because because you got the Tasmanian Glow that was released in 2019, so I'm sure that was something that you guys have been you've been feeding your ideas off of for so long, but now it's probably the perfect time just to release some more like singles.
We actually all met up like a month ago now or something.
Okay, a couple months, yeah.
And we recorded a new album. Still needs mixing and some other layers and stuff, but we're planning on dropping an album this year.
Oh wow! Do you know?
I think that's kind of our general goal now, is to like drop at least one record a year. But I think we're probably gonna release all the songs or most of them as singles over like the next few months. So yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. Are you guys going to go back to the same producer you have been going to? Who was your producer for Tasmanian? Because I'm not aware. That was Ben. Ben, you gonna produce it again, Ben?
Yeah, we do everything ourselves. Zach, like, we'll do all the pre-production. So for like Tasmanian Glow and this new album, Zach just made like 50 demos, and then we picked like our favorite one, like our favorite 10 songs, and then we pretty much like re-recorded everything. There was some stuff we probably kept from the demos, but we would like, add drums, re-record guitar, and do bass and keys and stuff. So yeah.
So Zach, you're really the guy that kind of like gets the foundational idea before it gets sent out. Is that usually how every one of the songs works out, or is it
just recently? Because since Ben moved, like we lived like pretty close to each other for years, so we would just like jam and write stuff. Yeah. We had a studio in Carmel, which is like, I don't know, 20 minutes from me. So we would just jam and record there, just kind of like bounce ideas off each other. But when he moved, I wanted to like be prepared, since we couldn't really jam, so I just started like writing as much as I possibly could, so we had stuff to pick from. And so we just had like a bunch of different songs.
Was it kind of like a long adjustment period, or was it pretty quick to get in the swing of things on how to approach it?
I've been recording music for a while, just like various stuff, so I just kind of would just like make myself sit down and try to get some ideas out.
Yeah, because like the only thing I'd get worried about from a songwriter perspective is like, again, we were talking earlier about is like you catch that vibe when you're just jamming, and like that's kind of missing. So that's like the only thing, you lose some of that magic. But it sounds like it's working for you guys, so that's good.
It can definitely be hard to like start a song from scratch. I don't know, I like when I have at least some idea of where I want to be going with it. It's hard to just kind of like sit down and I just like noodle around until I get like an intro. But I definitely, I like writing the live drums. I hate having to like program drums and all that stuff. It's not as cool and like crazy sounding.
So the writing process is you three. There's no other third-party candidate to come in with any of the structure work or anything. No, that's cool. Not a lot of people can do the DIY stuff, dude. If you can do it, you can do it. Obviously, you guys are doing it, so keep continuing your structure. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine who is recording bands and stuff, and he's also in a band in general. But it's like if you are having complications with structuring songs, like, or you're having like some kind of, I don't know, like defect within your music, like there's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody for help. Like you don't have to be all DIY. Yeah. It's very rare to see a lot of DIY like bands or musicians or artists that go out there and do it all themselves. I mean, like for example, like Covet went to the studio and recorded Technicolor, so it's not a bad thing, it's just something that they want to take in their own consideration, whereas you guys, you don't have to worry about that. It's right behind Ben. That's where you record, that's where you that's where you rehearse and everything. That's kind of cool, dude. You have a plethora of guitars behind you. Like, is there a specific brand that you're like jamming with? Like, that's fucking sick.
I have a bunch of different random guitars. I have two Charvels.
Oh, okay.
PRS.
There you go, Zach.
Yeah, big PRS guy.
A Hamer, which got bought out by Fender.
Yep.
And then I have like a custom-made guitar. It's not really like a brand.
What's that bass on the far right you got? It kind of looks like it's like the Warwick Thumb bass. It looks like almost.
Yeah, that's it's a custom-made bass by this guy. His last name is Adler. That's all I know about it. I got it from a pawn shop, but it's pretty sick.
Oh, good enough for me, man. That's sick.
You guys? Oh, go ahead, Zach. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just based off of like searching around, like kind of getting a history. Hi, who was ever in the background back there. what's it called? Hi. What was the question I was going to ask? Oh, so the pink guitar on the wall. I noticed that. So you're a drummer and a guitar player as well. Where do you find what was your first instrument? Like, what do you gravitate towards the most?
So guitar was my first real instrument. I mean, I took piano lessons when I was a little kid from my mom, but I hated it. And I remember having a little kid's drum set when I was a kid, but it was just I don't know. I wasn't actually trying to be a drummer or anything. It was just you just hit it and mess around on it. So yeah, guitar was my first instrument, and that was when I was 10, and I really started getting into that because I was I can just do whatever I want, make up my own chords and songs and everything. And then I started recording when I was 13, 14 on a little digital 8-track recorder, and then that's when I eventually got a drum set for Christmas one year, and I was recording all my guitar songs, so I needed drum tracks, so I just started trying to add drums to it.
So just by accident, essentially.
Just out of I need to add drums on this, so I'm gonna try to play drums on it. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I sucked at first, but eventually got better.
Gotcha. I don't want to dissect your whole drum set, but what are you playing right now? It looks like you have Sabian cymbals.
Here's my kit. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, the AAX.
Yeah, I have the Sabian Omni cymbal. I don't know if you can see that right there.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
It's a 22-inch, and then I have another Sabian Frequency Crash 18-inch. And then I have my stack, which is 5 different cymbals on there. And then I have some Meinl Byzance over there.
I have to get myself some couple Meinls, yeah. I usually go with Zildjian or Sabian. I try to swap in between either or. Because I love that accent. You know what I mean? If you have a 16-inch Crash that is sounds like a splasher, then I go to my 18-inch Crash that kind of sounds a little bit darker, a little money. But if you hit them at the same time, they kind of have that. They kind of just mesh well together when you're trying to accent one another. Did you ever think about getting a custom kit at all, or are you happy with what you have?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with what I have. I've thought about getting, because I've had this is the kick drum and the floor tom I've had since I was 14 when I got my drum set, but it was painted red, and I ended up sanding all the paint off, and I put my own finish on it. And I use 2 snares live now, and they're Gretsch. But yeah, if I need a new drum kit, I really just need a kick drum and a floor tom. So eventually I'll probably do that. But I mean, for a custom one, just for a kick drum and floor tom, it'll probably be a couple grand or something. So it's kind of expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Or I mean, if you get that endorsement through that company, I guess you'll get that hype, that discount. But I wouldn't take that into consideration. I don't know, because I play a Truth kit. They gave me somewhat of a discount. It was great, dude. They built it from scratch. But I'll never get rid of that thing, dude. I always stuck with Yamaha. That was my always go-to with drums. I mean, they just had a really pure sound that you can kind of just take advantage of when you're taking the kit into the studio or anything. And I every time I went to a studio with that kit, people would be pretty psyched. Or they would, hopefully I would have a DW. I was like, no, I don't have a DW. It's all right.
Yeah, mine's a PDP by DW.
Yeah, those kits last forever too. So I mean, I don't think I'm going to be getting a kit anytime soon.
Mine's taking a beating.
Is it really? I mean, since you were 14, yeah. I mean, you look like a hard hitter too, dude. When I was watching the Audiotree, this was a couple of years ago, but when I was going through some of the videos, because I've known you guys for a while, but that Audiotree video. I mean, do you have a beef with your snare, dude? You beat the shit out of that thing. It's kind of incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just when I play, it's just an emotional release. So I just try to hit it as hard as I can.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm the same way, dude. I was just damn, he's really going hard. And that was a great session though. Audiotree puts out a lot of great content, and it was cool to see. To have them reach out to you guys to do that, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it was a half-hour performance too. It was a pretty solid set.
Like we said earlier, we just recorded a new album, so we're excited for that.
Do you have any estimated release date on that?
Not really, just whenever it gets mixed and mastered and all that stuff. So I don't know, hopefully a few months or something.
Usually from cradle to grave, what is there a specific timetable you try and hit usually when you are doing that?
It just depends. Like a lot of times, I feel like the past few albums we've been a little rushed just because we would have like a tour lined up and we would want to try to get it done or out by a certain tour kind of a thing, so we could drop it on a tour. So we've kind of dealt with that. This time we don't really have anything like that, so it's just kind of like, whatever.
That's kind of funny. Like if we do the tour next spring, we'll be touring on like 2 new albums.
Yeah.
So for the venues, what venues are you guys going to be hitting up? And what area, what states?
Wherever they still do music at that point.
where were you guys supposed to go before?
I mean, basically all over. Full U.S. tour.
So pretty much our normal route. Like we usually start in like L.A. Sometimes we, first start heading like east through like Arizona, Texas, all the way to the East Coast down to Florida and like up to like New York and stuff. Or sometimes we like, start in LA and then go up to California, through California first and then to like Oregon and Washington and then
is there
like,
a favorite
Utah.
spot? Is there like a favorite spot you like to come through?
I think we have a lot of spots we like. Like Texas is really good, Florida's really good, New York's been fun. I feel like Texas is always like really cool.
Yeah, Texas is awesome. I'd say Nashville. New York is always like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
See where else?
Did you ever consider the Eastern Hemisphere of the world, like going to Europe or anything along that lines? Was that ever an option?
It's just hard and expensive.
It is.
So, especially now. Like, I mean, you pretty much not make any money. So, and having like not made money touring for over a year, it's I don't know when we would be able to do something like that.
We were talking about doing like a Japan tour with the Fall of Troy, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. Hopefully in the next few years or something. But we finally got a European agent. Like, was that last year or 2 years ago? So he's been trying to get us to go over there. We're just kind of waiting for the right time to do it.
Yeah, now with everything going on, I mean, it's not really nobody's playing shows or anything, but I do feel bad for a lot of the hardcore fans that are, in Europe or something, and they always want bands like you guys or bands like, I don't know, like Neck Deep or Knuckle Puck, just, that whole pop punk, metalcore, whatever, post-hardcore genre to go out there, but it's expensive, dude. Like, even when August Burns Red went out there, they had like a documentary on it. I know it wasn't Japan. I know it was like Germany and such, but it was a brutal schedule. Like they got a little bit of lack of sleep. They didn't get paid as much as they would in the U.S., but they still had like a good time. So I mean, it's just hard, man. It's just really hard.
Yvette Young from Covet said like they went on tour. I forget where it was, somewhere in Europe with Polyphia, and like even they didn't make any money. Like I think they might have lost money, but
it's just expensive to fly out there and like rent a van and gear and all that stuff.
Gotta take into consideration.
My stepfather played in a power metal band, and he went on tour back in 2008 in Germany, and they're kind of like my Iron Maiden sound, but think of like 20 octaves higher. So like it is what it is. But they went over there, and that was his first European tour experience, and that was like back in 2008. But like they were trying to get a following back together, and they went over, lost money, and then the airline that they were booked to fly back on actually went on strike, and they had no money, so they were prepared to like sleep in the freaking airport until the workers decided to go back to work so they could fly back. And it was just insane. My mom was like, she was like so upset. She's like, oh no, when he's gonna get back? And it's just like, it was crazy. But he got to play with he actually got to play with Exodus out there. He got to play with a bunch of like big 90s 80s power metal bands. But he said like that experience is great because he got picked up last minute, and he said that the coolest thing was he got to sign his name next to Bruce Dickinson on like some dude's like denim jacket with all these decals, and he's like, bro, I don't deserve to be next to your name at all. But like you guys said, man, it's super expensive to go over there. Like they were roughing it hardcore big time.
Yeah, and a lot of times you only do like a 2-week tour, so it's just money wise, it's, and especially like having not gone out there, it's hard to know like what you can draw and what you're worth and stuff. So
it would be like scary to get stuck in a different country. Like band, This Town Needs Guns or TTNG. They got arrested in like China or something. I don't know. I forget.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they were like held for like a while. Like it might have been a week or 2 weeks or something. They were like in jail or something. Like, yeah, that would suck.
That's a nightmare.
Dude, I mean, just don't tour to like North Korea or anything. Just do us all a favor. Like, let's just stay away from Kim Jong Un and his fucking way of living. No, that's crazy because like and even Australian bands, they mostly thrive in the U.S. I think that's why they come here all the time for touring and everything. So it's just the polar opposite for us as Americans to go out and to like, I mean, take a risk. Yeah, it is a risk for sure, but you have to make sure that like all your ducks are in line and just make sure that everybody's able to eat from the whole entire process.
It'll probably be easier like if we wait a few years until like we're a little bit bigger, and then hopefully some better opportunities come our way, and like hopefully everything's paid for. And
Are you starting to get like a good base like over in Europe though, with like getting in contact with the where you say you guys got a European agent now?
Yeah, we did. Atonal Music Group, I think, is the agency, and yeah, I mean, he's just like a booking agent dude who really wanted to have us on his roster.
That's cool.
But yeah, we're just waiting for the right opportunity. I want to try to have the new album out by the end of this year.
Okay. Yeah, before 2021.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Any features on this album that you might have?
Right now, there's just one currently.
Cool.
Yeah, we got Andreas on the track. I want to try to get Thomas Eric from the Fall of Troy on the track. Yeah, who knows? There might be a couple other people. It would be cool to have like Nick Newsham on a song or something. Who else? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Surprises.
With coming out with live shows in general, like with playing live shows, Zach, does it? I mean, I'm sure your pedal board is pretty full as it is. So, like, is there any way that, like, how often do you usually, go through different types of pedals? Like, is it just like a rotation that you do, like when you experiment with them? Like,
I actually don't like using too many pedals just because it gets annoying on stage. I like to like be energetic, and I don't want to be like. Out. Yeah, I like to rock out and not be. Like,
I respect the hell out of that.
So you're starting to cut down. You're starting to cut down. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're having to like run back and forth to the pedal board constantly, it kind of you're just stuck there. So.
But for recording, you definitely experiment with a lot of pedals.
Yeah, we did.
Is the Telly like your go-to though in terms of songwriting and playing live?
Pretty much like the only electric guitar I really have.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I can't really find much where you don't play a Telly. Like, because it's always the Telly versus Strat and Les Paul. Mm-hmm. So, do you just gravitate towards it because of the sound and like how kind of malleable a Telly's tone is, or is it just like that's just what you kind of used?
It's just it's just what I've had for like half my life. So
you're just not a gear snob. I could see it.
Yeah, not really.
Good.
I like it.
Where'd you get that guitar?
I think in San Jose at. What was that place called? There was some weird guitar shop. So I'd always go to Guitar Center and then this other, I forget what it's called, but they had a bunch of different like cool guitars and like consignment and stuff. So nice. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but somewhere in San Jose, probably when I was like 14 or 15. I'm pretty sure that's where, but I could be wrong.
Have you guys been collaborating with other musicians to start maybe seeing other features in the future or collaboration songs in the future? Because I know you guys just released one today. What was that, by the way? I saw it real quick for a second. I think.
Oh, I dropped a collaboration today. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that's with my. It's just a solo song that I wrote, and I had my friend Sheridan sing on it, and he was recently on that show, The Bachelor.
Oh shit! I heard they don't get paid at all.
Yeah, I don't think they did, but he got a lot of exposure. He got like 120,000 Instagram followers, so that's pretty sick.
That's amazing that show still carries that much weight all these years later. It's insane. Like, why?
Yeah, well, he was on like they have a new edition of it. It's called Listen to Your Heart, and it's like it's just all for like musicians, and then they like couple up and like fall in love and like write songs together and stuff.
Oh please, dude, no way, man. How sappy can we really get? Like, I cry at weddings, but like that shit does not make me like feel anything. It
was pretty sick, honestly. I watched it and
it's really that's cool. I'll have to take it. I'll take it into consideration, dude. Like, I can't stand shows like The Voice or American Idol. But I think the exposure for the musician itself is great for sure. My boy was on for season 5, and they didn't really give him the fair share of what happened, but they don't really teach the music business at all. I mean, they're not supposed to. That's not their job. But you get exposed like to a huge platform, and then you kind of, once you come off the show, you have like a very small window to make sure you capitalize on what you gained. And if you don't, it kind of struggles a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, like, national television is a powerful tool. Like, we were on Last Call with Carson Daly like 4 or 5 years ago or something.
Oh, really?
Fuck out of here.
And that was.
So did you guys play live?
Yeah, so it was just a live show that we played. It was actually with TTNG and the Appleseed cast and Caspian or something. Yeah. And it was down in LA, and we thought we were gonna get to meet Carson Daly, but he pretty much. They just send out like a huge like film crew, and then they just film the whole show, capture it, and then air it on TV, and then Carson does like the intro or whatever. But yeah,
that's so weird.
But that was pretty cool, like being like an instrumental math rock band like on national television.
That's pretty crazy. Like I can't remember any time ever seeing like that kind of that genre online.
I think TV you can still find it on online somewhere. There's
I'll go look that up real quick.
If you Google it, you can probably find it.
That's like when Adam Gray from Texas in July was on, I think, Conan, and they got him because of his, like, he would flip sticks all the time while he would play, and that was his cool thing. But then he broke out into like a metal song, like, also. They always like the mainstream always teases at metal and like underground music like us, because it's just like, it's a very specific demographic, which is fine. Doesn't matter. Like, we thoroughly enjoy it.
How'd you guys get that opportunity with going on the Daily Show? Did they reach out to you for that?
No, I think one of the dudes who worked at our label,
Eric?
Yeah, I think he reached out to them, and they're the guy who books the bands for the show. He came out to a show and he dug it, so yeah, they got us on. So it was cool.
I think they just they were sending like the TV those guys at the TV show like all our CDs and vinyl and stuff like that, just to try to get them like, hey, check out this band. So, eventually we got it.
That was a cool
opportunity.
Yeah.
You guys keep continuing to release great tasting music, and honestly, like, I'm glad that you're able to still capitalize on the writing process during these times. But like you said, it has been a little bit easier, somewhat, of just coming up with a whole collective song and then working through there. It's very drawn out right now to how we're going to open up our industry again. However, you guys are still pushing forward, and I really appreciate that. But I also really appreciate you guys coming on the show. Is there anything that we should look out forward to besides the album that you might release before 2021? Is there any other secrets that you guys want to kind of give us your way of some sort?
Should we drop the album title?
The label might not like that.
Secret.
Oh, no. I mean, our new album will be our first independent release in a long time. So,
congratulations on that.
So we're pretty stoked about that. Stoked to see how it does and move forward from there.
Absolutely.
No, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. So I appreciate you guys taking the time, and we'll definitely touch base soon. And again, dude, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.